In this video, we're going to talk about internet service speeds. We're going to talk about the biggest problem with internet here in Mexico, and then some alternative options you have to help you in your situation. Now, this question is very hard to answer because there's just so many variables, but I'm going to do the best I can based on my personal experience, based on other people I've spoken to, and then other Facebook groups that have asked very similar questions. So let's get started. So just so you know, the main three internet service providers I found out here in Mexico are Telmex, Easy, and Autoplay. I have heard that Telmex pretty much just built the fiber optic backbone, and these other companies just use their backbone and then take the service to the house. I'm not a technical person. I know a little bit about it because I did work for AT&T Uverse when it came out, so I do know a little bit about how that works, but I'm not a techie guy, so you're gonna have to go to somebody else about those like very, very technical questions. But I'll kind of address some of the biggest problems or some of the major issues that people have. If you go to major cities like Playa, Carmen, Tulum, Cancun, you're more than likely going to have access to good internet. But if you're going to small towns like Holbox, Bacalar, you're going to have just slower internet speeds. You're going to have unstable internet speeds. For instance, that's why I had to leave both those cities after 2 or 3 days. It was nice to I guess unplug from the internet for a while, but we need it for work, we need it for stuff like that, and so you sometimes do need internet. But if you want to disconnect, go to towns like that, and there is internet there, but it's just unstable. It doesn't it's not as fast as in some of the major cities around here. If you want to know how fast your internet goes, if you're going to Airbnb, they do have a spot where they can test it. You can ask the person you're renting the Airbnb for to test it for you if they haven't already. If you're getting stuff for like Facebook Marketplace and if you're renting an apartment from Facebook Marketplace or other places, you can ask them to do it for you too. But the biggest problem you have with the internet service out here is router location. So sometimes they may say they have very, very fast internet. I'm losing track of the numbers in my head right now, so I don't want to misquote somebody, but like they say they're getting, I always forget the abbreviations at the end, but like for instance mine here, I tested it last night. It says I get 13 and MB, whatever that is, and that should be fast enough for video conferencing, video anything, high speed video anything really, but what happens is it's unstable. So sometimes I'll be on a video call and it just drops, and sometimes it'll take 2 to 3 minutes to get reconnected. It's very frustrating if you're speaking to somebody, or if I was on a Zoom call, or what if I was hosting something. That would be very, very frustrating. So that's one of the biggest that's one of the biggest problems with router location. I don't have a direct line of sight to the router at the apartment I'm at. You can request it, but at the place I'm at, I'm on a month-to-month, so they're kind of just like, dude, we could pay for a router, then you could leave next month. So I get why they haven't addressed my concern yet. But if you're getting a place for like a year or even 6 months, you can request those things. But I like having this place because it is month-to-month. But like I said, they haven't addressed my concerns just yet. They're always like, oh yeah, we're gonna do that soon. We just haven't done it yet. So that's one location. Another problem, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, is the reason the internet's unstable. Supposedly it's because of the power grid. If there's fluctuations in the power grid that will cause the modem to disconnect and reconnect, and it happens all the time. I mean, even when I'm on my phone, it'll show the little Wi-Fi bars, and then it won't show them for like 30 seconds up to a minute or a couple minutes sometimes, and it is kind of frustrating. But like I said, fortunately for me, most of my calls are VoIP calls, so fortunately it does provide enough high-speed internet for voice calls or VoIP calls, whatever you want to call them. But I know on video calls I've been dropped, and I don't do online gaming, but if you do online gaming, you may need a higher internet speed, and you may need to negotiate that into your conversation with who you're renting your apartment from. But like I said, that's some of those variables you're just not going to know until you get there. So that's what I highly, highly recommend. Those are some of the things you can do to protect yourself. For instance, one of the places I rented when I first got here to Playa del Carmen, I booked at at a hotel that they had a really low monthly deal. It was right after lockdown, so it was like 3,000 pesos, which is like $150 for a month. And then when I got there, and then it was like I saw it the last day of the promotion, so I had to pay it online, and it was, I mean, luckily it was a legit deal. I mean, it could have went bad, it could have been really bad. So I always tell everybody, don't pay anything until you see it in person, just in case it's like a spam or somebody just literally just putting out false information. But yeah, so when I got there, I realized that my room didn't have Wi-Fi on my phone, but my computer did. So I asked the hotel employee. I was like, hey, my phone doesn't work on your Wi-Fi. And he's like, well, you guys don't have Wi-Fi in your room. And I was like, well, my computer does. He goes, oh, well, lucky you. And then just walked off. And I was just like, okay. But I couldn't complain. I got a really good deal. So I just learned to be on my phone, or not to be on my phone, sorry, and more on my computer. So, and I still have that habit to today. I'm just not on my phone that much anymore. But anyways, like I said, some of the times you're just not going to know. But when you go check out the place, always bring your phone and your computer and anything you need to connect to online just to test it, just to make sure it works in the room you're going to be. The next place I went to, I did check the internet speeds in the kitchen, but I didn't check it in my room. And so same thing, I just had to get used to not using my phone that often in my room, but in the kitchen I was fine. And then when my friend came over, he would actually just be in the hallway because he had a direct line of sight to the modem, because he just liked that more. So we just left the door open when we were working in there, and he would just have a direct line of sight to the modem, and that's how we just worked together in there. But anyways, so just you have to learn to adjust and overcome, but this is part of it. But I'm going to share with you a couple other alternatives and options you have. One is just to get an internet repeater. There's a lot of people say they don't work, they do work. I don't know, it seems like it does work if it's a product that's been selling for years. I've never bought one myself. You can buy them on Amazon. You can also buy them at Coppel here. I didn't see that at that apartment I was talking about in Playa, Carmen. I probably should have gotten one there because it was kind of okay internet, but I probably could have done better, had better internet with it, obviously. But I just was like, I'm fine. Like I really don't do voice calls. But if you do voice calls and you do like and you do need faster and more stable internet connection, maybe get an internet repeater or a booster or whatever you want to call them nowadays. Another option is if you want to be absolutely sure, you can also get a Wi-Fi puck. I did a video about it a couple days ago with Telcel. They have a chip and a Wi-Fi puck. They call it Telcel at Home. Literally, you have like an unlimited plan for like $40 a month, I want to say. And then the puck, you can either get it from Amazon or you can also get it for Coppel. I think it was like $75. So, if you want to, like, I have to have stable internet connection. Believe it or not, the Telcel connection is pretty good. I forget what the connection speeds are, but basically it's rated for up to high speed video calls. So if you're needing to do anything other than that, I don't know what to tell you. But for the 99% of human beings that need high speed internet, you're going to be covered with a Telcel chip or the at-home service with the little puck, or you can buy one of their towers. They also have towers for sale. So it's whatever up to you. And then the last alternative or option is you can just go to a co-working spot or a coffee shop. There's tons of them everywhere. There's tons in Tulum. There's tons in Playa del Carmen. There's tons in Cancun. There's tons in the small town. Everyone's adjusting to digital nomads, so you will, no matter where you're at, you're going to have some form of internet. You're not entering into a forgotten, technologically deficient part of the world. There's internet everywhere. But if you have any questions, about Mexico in general or any specific questions, let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And if you like content like this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. All right, thanks.